Overclockers, my name's Bryony and I'm here to bring you the latest PC gaming hardware and industry news in this 20-second episode of BIOS Update. This week there's stories about Street Fighter 6, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, AMD's Ryzen 7000 fix, many new case launches and much more. So let's get into it. Kicking off BIOS with the gaming chapter, and our first story this week is all about the 6th installment in the Street Fighter series. The game is due to launch on the 2nd of June, and I must say that it looks like a hell of a lot of fun from the trailers, demo and gameplay clips that have been shared so far. The vast majority of feedback from reviewers and longtime fans who've already played the closed beta has been positive. To maintain the hyped up momentum, Capcom has announced a new open beta taking place from the 19th to the 22nd of May. Anyone can join in on the crossplay action on PS5, Xbox Series X or S, and Steam by simply registering a Capcom ID and linking their chosen platform on their website. The included modes are Ranked, Casual, Battle Hub, Open Tournament, Extreme, Battle, Game Center, and Training Mode, with 8 available characters to choose from. If you're playing on PC, make sure that your system is up to scratch, with a Ryzen 5 3500 or i7 8700 CPU paired with 16GB of memory, an RTX 2070 or RX 5700 XT listed as the recommended hardware. That's pretty demanding for a fighting game, but those realistic new graphics and awesome effects do look rather impressive. Capcom is clearly very confident in the upcoming launch, and it does give us all a chance to try before we buy. Before the full release, a few further adjustments will be made to character balance, etc., but it's shaping up to be one of the best new games this year. Moving on into our next gaming story this week, which is finally some positive news for Jedi Survivor. It was a game that I was thoroughly looking forward to, but unfortunately the launch was fraught with performance issues. Gamers experienced frame rate drops, crashes, audio issues, and save corruption, which overshadows what would be a great game with an enjoyable story, combat, and gameplay. The Star Wars Jedi team issued a statement pretty early on and said they were working on the issues with the game. Now it seems that this week's patch 4 will fix some of the major PC performance issues and various bugs. The list is rather long, so I'll make sure to link the full patch notes below, but it sounds like there'll be dedicated fixes for issues relating to ray tracing, hitching, visual effects, and non-ray traced performance. Details of future fixes were also revealed, with the development team working on improving performance on newer i7 and i9 CPUs, CPU and GPU utilization while reducing idle time, both with and without ray tracing, and improving some hitching, which can also be attributed to streaming ray tracing data, assets, and pre-built shaders. It's sad to see that such a highly anticipated game was pushed to launch what appears to be a couple of weeks too early. However, I am hopeful that developers will fix those performance issues, and I can confidently finish the story of Cal Kestis. Kicking off the hardware chapter this week is an update about those burnt out issues found on some Ryzen 7000 chips that were damaging both the CPU and motherboard. AMD released an official statement attributing the issue to high voltage causing the CPU to operate beyond its specification limits. Thankfully, a fix was quickly rolled out with the beta release of the new AGESA 1.07 BIOS firmware for AM5 boards. The firmware limits the SoC voltage to 1.3 volts to prevent irreversible degradation and eventually catastrophic failure. It also includes some other fixes to make sure the processors don't exceed their temperature limits. I highly recommend watching the Gamers Nexus video, as it's a great piece of journalism that really dives into all the scientific details. AMD has said that none of the changes will affect the ability of Ryzen 7000 series processors to overclock memory using XPO or XMP kits, or boost performance using PBO technology. However, there are still some minor issues to be ironed out before the firmware can be finalized and properly rolled out. Thankfully, we're not actually aware of any CPUs or motherboards here at Overclockers affected by this issue, but we do recommend that all users check their motherboard manufacturer's website and update their BIOS to ensure their system has the most up-to-date software for their processor. Anyone whose CPU may have been impacted by this issue should contact AMD customer support, who are aware of the situation and are prioritizing such cases. This isn't the most positive story, but it is reassuring to know that AMD is making sure that a fix is rolled out and that AM5 is going to be stable and reliable going forward. Moving on to our next hardware story, which is a collection of case launches from popular manufacturers Phanteks and Lianli. First up is the humongous full tower Lianli V3000 Plus, an updated version of the original that has had quite the makeover. This stylish case has 3 distinct modes. Standard is, well, standard, with the motherboard positioned so that all the I/O exits out the back of the case. The second mode rotates this classic design 90 degrees so that the I/O exits through the PSU chamber and gives the GPU better access to cool air. Finally, you can build 2 systems inside its spacious main compartment with an additional motherboard mounted to the PSU shroud. There's support for pretty much any hardware that you want to throw at it, and this is going to be a high-end case you'll be rebuilding in for years to come. Get it now for $479.99. Another new case from Lianli is the 216X. I love the Lancool 216, and you can watch me building one right here on YouTube. This more affordable option of the case is a stealth version in plain black with no RGB. It provides loads of airflow thanks to large mesh panels on both the front and top of the chassis. It includes a pair of plain black 160mm fans housed in a specially designed shroud that channels all that air directly through the front of the case that helps to reduce turbulence and noise. There's support for eATX motherboards, full-size GPUs and large CPU coolers, and an external bracket supports a 120mm fan for more airflow. Get yours now for $99.95. Boasting a small footprint, the G300A still manages to offer plenty of space for modern hardware and lots of cooling, such as ATX motherboards and a 360mm radiator. Due to the innovative mounting bracket, there's space for GPUs like the chunky Asus Strix RTX 4090. The G300A is available with 3 DRGB fans mounted at the front of the chassis for just $64.99, or a single DRGB fan mounted at the rear of the case for $54.95. I'm going to link all of these new cases below if you want to check them out on the Overclockers website. Moving on to the blog chapter of BIOS, where I pick out a couple of this week's top stories from our very own Overclockers blog. First up is a countdown of the top 5 new game releases happening in May. Redfall launched on May the 2nd, and it's safe to say that the launch didn't go exactly to plan, with the title slipping into Steam's top 15 worst reviewed games of all time. Sitting alongside other top 30 titles, Battlefield 2042, COD Warzone 2, and Roller Coaster Tycoon World. I do feel rather sorry for the developers, so let's hope this vampire slaying shooter from Arcane Studios undergoes a cyberpunk-style glow-up. The next game, Hometopia, was meant to launch on the 5th of May, but it's since been delayed to make some dramatic visual improvements. Think The Sims, but with much more freedom to let your creativity run wild. Freely build homes, neighborhoods, and design the interior. Best of all, it's co-op and completely free to play. The game I'm most looking forward to launching this month is LEGO 2K Drive on May 19th, with its vast open world, awesome customizable vehicles, exciting story mode, and thrilling races. On May 25th, Lord of the Rings Gollum is due to be released. This action-adventure allows you to play as the creature Gollum and undergo a perilous journey, all to find what has been stolen from him, the precious. Finally, on May 30th, System Shock launches as the fully fledged remake of the groundbreaking original from 1994. It combines cult gameplay with all new HD visuals, updated controls, an overhauled interface, and all new sounds and music. If you want to learn more about these upcoming games, including the hardware requirements and our best PCs to play, head over to Ruth's article, which I've linked in the description below. The next story that I've plucked from the blog this week is a great deal if you're looking to upgrade your graphics card. Nvidia is giving away a bundle of Diablo IV goodies with select GeForce RTX 40 series GPUs. You get a standard edition copy of the game along with a light bearer mount and comparison of Faith mount armor, Diablo III Inarius Wings and Inarius Murloc pet, World of Warcraft Amalgam of Rage mount, and Diablo Immortal Umber Winged Darkness cosmetic set. We covered the PC requirements needed in the last episode of BIOS Update, and if you do want to max out those graphics settings and make the most of the real-time ray tracing and AI DLSS 3 support, a 40 series GPU definitely comes highly recommended. The qualifying GPUs in this promotion include everything from the RTX 4090 all the way to the RTX 4070. 40 series gaming PCs will also qualify for this bundle, and you have until the 13th of June to check out and still claim this offer. We'll send you a code to redeem the game and all those extra goodies ready for when it launches on the 6th of June. If you want to learn more about the hardware you're going to need to play, check out last week's BIOS episode or head to our dedicated blog post to learn more about this awesome promo, which I'm going to link below. Thanks for watching this week's episode of BIOS Update. Leave me a comment below letting me know what's your favorite upcoming game release. Remember, if you enjoyed the video, to give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button to catch our upcoming episodes, and I'll catch you again in the next one.